Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart, 1308, and we are going to have one of our usual regular chaos shows. This is not another very special episode of Blossom. What was that?
Very special episode.
Yes. We are here with the Peanut Gallery. And today's show is brought to you in association with Hidden Leaf and Sky Mall VA on the Downtown Mall, Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, eh, bud? Only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also brought to you in association with Kush Gang Snacks, findable on Instagram at KidGSnacks434 and findable in person at Sky Mall VA Smoking Lounge, where you can also find Dope Ash Drinkables. Get dope, stay dope, be dope. One of our other sponsors. You can also find our other sponsor, Firehouse Organics, on Instagram at Firehouse Organics. That's Firehouse with a Z, not to be confused with Firehouse Subs, who does not sponsor us, although we wouldn't mind. You can find Firehouse Organics on Instagram at Firehouse Organics. A quick note of disclaimer: we are probably going to express some opinions throughout the show today. Those opinions belong to the expresser of the opinion and or us and or the channel and or parent company, but do not necessarily belong to any of our advertisers, including Hidden Leaf, Sky Mall VA, Kush Gang Snacks, Dope Ash Drinkables, and Firehouse Organics, spelled with a Z. All right, so let's get into it. How have you been this week?
Well, doing all right, I guess.
That's good. That's good. I was about to make a
Yes,
joke about,
super,
huh?
super exciting.
Nothing super exciting. Good, I think. Uh, so have you been paying attention to the news? I'm still on part-time pay attention to the news, so only a few things have sort of gotten through the filter.
Only, only moderately, unfortunately, because since my commute has significantly dropped, so has my ability to pay attention to the news because it was mostly done in the car.
Right. And you don't do that thing that I do, which is go out and drive as a hobby. Drive and listen
No,
to the news.
no, 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 no.
It is an expensive hobby these days.
Well, not only that, I gotta. That means I gotta get my car in better condition.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. You don't have a touring car like I do.
I got a car that's about 20 some odd years old, second hand, got its problems, and a job that doesn't pay enough to take care of those problems. So, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years old. That's all.
2006.
So, oh my god. So, how old does a car need to be in Virginia to be considered antique?
I think it's like 15.
15 years old is antique? What's classic? That's what I'm thinking of.
I,
Classic is like Oh man, I don't want to think about
Classic
it.
is a matter of opinion. Antique is a matter of record.
Oh, okay. I thought Virginia had special classic car plates that you could get, but antique
Um,
is 15 years old. I Antique is what I'm thinking of.
I think it's 15 years old. I mean, I remember hearing about it and going, "That's not actually that old." But then at the time, it's like, "Oh, look, I'm in the I'm in the 90s, and something that came out in the late 70s is considered an antique car. It's got the um, yellow
Right.
and black license plate.
Right. I thought antique was 25.
Could be.
Anyway,
We don't have a fact checker currently online,
I
so
know.
one
Look
of
at
us would have to
us.
actually one of us would actually have to stop whatever else we're doing on other monitors and do that.
I know. Look at like we're all of a sudden useless without our ASOC prod. Oh my
What do you
god.
mean all of a sudden? I'm always useless. Come on, get things right.
Yeah, see, okay. You're not always useless. You're very useful for the things you're good at. You're
Okay, yes, I am a useful idiot.
I, I don't even think you're an idiot. I think that you are also very smart in the places that you're smart. No, actually, I think you're a very smart person in general. I think that you specialize your thinking, which is normal. We all do it.
How dare you accuse me of being normal? You
Sorry.
take that back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean normal. I meant average. No, wait. I didn't mean average. I meant standard. No, wait. I didn't mean standard. I meant. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. I don't blame you.
But yeah, it's not that unusual to sort of specialize your thinking to have your. But the things. I mean, but you're really good at doing the things you do. Just like I'm good at or mediocre at the things I do. You know, being the face. What I'm willing to do is be on camera, which makes me good at being the one whose face is on camera and seen.
I'm not willing to be on camera.
Right. And neither is Kat. But you guys have your very you guys have the areas that you're each both very strong at. I think this is just a roundabout way of me saying, we operate as a team, and I couldn't do this without you guys. So, thank you.
I have literally broken cameras because I've appeared on. And not that I have physically gone up and broken the camera. The camera has broken directly after it's taken a picture of me.
That's, I mean, okay. That's a good reason not to want to be on camera, I guess.
Even happened with a brand new iPhone.
I'm gonna have to try and take your picture with my iPhone because my iPhone isn't that is old enough that it's gonna get replaced eventually soon anyway. But I want to test this.
It's not a common occurrence. I'm just saying it
It's
has
happened.
actually happened.
I like this idea. Well, you know what? I'll just take pictures of you until my iPhone camera breaks.
No. Because if you start doing that, I will physically be the cause of it breaking.
It was okay. Darth Draconis says, "Gosh, I hope he showed you a normal warrant before you let him look for normal evidence." That's the problem right there. It was an iPhone. They break as soon as you take them out of the box. Okay, I mean, I know normally they do. I My iPhones have always been exceptionally rugged and durable and have lasted way longer than they're supposed to. All of my iPhones, I've had to replace. Well, not all of them that I've had to replace because they've just gotten too old. There have been a couple of times where I have dropped. There was one time where I dropped the iPhone in water and had to replace it because it got wet. Every other time I've had to replace the iPhone, it's because it was just so old that it didn't have enough memory to run anymore. But I also know that iPhones usually break quick. I don't know why I have the luck I have with them.
Well, personally, I'm never going to get an iPhone because I'm a person who grew up in the 80s and 90s as far as technology, grew up in the 80s and 90s with that bitter rivalry.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too. And I was a dedicated PC person up until up until the late aughts, early tens, because I got into a specialized area of proficiency. I was getting into a specialized area of proficiency that worked better on Mac products specifically. And that was audio technician. I was becoming an audio technician, and at the time, the industry standard was Pro Tools, and Pro Tools was designed to run on Macs, so it ran better on a Mac.
So I'm going to say something that's really going to be kind of mean.
Mm.
And it's only half heartedly meant as a joke.
Go for it.
Apple, the racist computers. Because because they don't allow any outside interference. There's no one but Apple in Apple products. Whereas other quote unquote PCs, you have the entire world making stuff for it.
Right.
Also, you'll notice that almost every Apple is a certain color.
It's their default color. Yes, their default color is cracker. I appreciate that. I do. Yeah. And I mean, I'm barely running on Mac anymore. I only have the iPhone going. And the only reason I keep going with an iPhone is because I'm used to it. Oh, I have an iPad running as well. And again, the iPad, there are two reasons why I'm running with the iPad. One is because it was free. And two is because it is for the single purpose of running DJ software. I do nothing else with the iPad. So the iPad, again, specialized audio work. And that's where Mac shines. That's where they used to shine. is with specialized applications. If you were doing audio work or video or visual art, you know, and you were only really doing that. You weren't doing, you weren't doing both exactly. You were only doing one on one machine. That's where Mac really did well. Now, I, of course, stretched my Macs to the limit by doing audio and visual, and visual work on it. I was doing audio engineering, video editing, and running a CAD program, doing technical drawing on my Macs, and it stretched them to the limits of what they felt like doing. They were not that great for the other stuff, for streaming, for getting online, and for like I couldn't do this on my MacBook. My MacBook was just not gonna handle this. So yeah, that's I have no point to this. 'Tis like a pencil that be broken, completely pointless.
I don't know. Mechanical pencil broken still has a point.
Let's just erase that we were doing that. Hi, Kat. Great to see ya. Driving?
That was a very interesting conversation to listen to. And yes, I'm driving.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I have just sat here muted and listening.
Okay. I bet it was an interesting conversation. So we were going to waste some time before you got here talking about Graham Plattner and Mitch McConnell. But we got sidetracked talking about other stuff. But we are still going to talk about Graham Plattner and Mitch McConnell.
Go for it. I'm going to have to mute when I get up here anyway, so.
Yeah, before we get to headlines.
Yeah.
So, before you have to mute, you got any opinions? Let's start with Mitch McConnell. Oh, yeah, sorry. Moscow Mitch. Or Yertle.
No, not Yertle, because Yertle is Yertle the Turtle from the Dr. Seuss book, and I ain't going there.
Okay. Moscow Mitch.
Yeah. It is rather interesting. Yeah. It's rather interesting that he has been in the hospital for 3 weeks, and we're only really, really hearing about it now. I remember it being mentioned he was going to the hospital, but then it was awful quiet, so I thought he was back out again.
I was unaware of what was going on. Like, I didn't even hear he went into the hospital until I started hearing people go, "Is he alive? Is he dead?" At which point I was like, "Oh, his official title is Weekend at Mitchell's." Yeah, they're Weekend at Mitchelling him. This all came out over the past week and a half. Yeah. I didn't, maybe 4 days ago was when I started hearing people talk about he's missing.
Yeah. I think that he is in a bad enough shape either going to not recover for a very, very long time and be unable to do even the pittance that he did for his job, or he actually is brain dead, and they've been stalling as long as they can so that there doesn't have to be a special election.
Yeah, I feel like that's entirely possible.
Like they're keeping the seriousness covered up so that they don't have to do the special election, and that could just be my paranoia / sarcastic, jaded worldview looking at it, but
could be. Matty Holmes says, to be frank, he's not even the first missing GOP legislator this month. Oh
no, he's not.
He's dead. They did CPR on him, and his ribs are now crunched. Ouch. And Darth Dragonis said, to be fair, he's been dead for a decade.
This is also true. I don't know if you saw the video the Peanut Gallery shared. But they had a very, very cute thing where they had, Doug, the congressional necromancer that they were keeping on call.
Okay. Matt goes, I can't help that his 10-year contract with the devil terminated 3 weeks ago.
That could be.
Oh, did Peanut Gallery, did you post that in the group chat, or did you post that in the... Did you send it to me specifically? Because if you post it in the group chat, I haven't seen it yet.
It's in the group chat.
Okay, yeah, I don't watch the ones in the group chat until we do an episode where I watch all the stuff in the group chat that I haven't seen yet, and we do a react.
It's not on Discord. It's on.
It's on. Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Oh.
It's on Messenger. Yeah, I save all of the stuff in there for doing an episode, a reactions episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I watch the stuff you send directly to me as soon as I have time to watch it. But I save all the stuff in the group chat.
Well, okay. I'll have to bear that in mind.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I suppose I should have told you that before. I thought I'd said that out loud. But
nope.
Did I just hear a turn signal? Yes, Kat is driving currently.
Yes, and she actually uses that strange switch on the side of the steering wheel column.
Left, to be specific. Are you sure it was a left?
No, but the screen is. I use turn signals a lot. I am one of those people who uses a turn signal almost every time. There is very rarely where I do not use a turn signal. I mean, we are dyslexic around here. I use turn signals in parking lots. I try to. Your Tism controls that one. Yeah. Maybe she doesn't know her left from her right, so she just turns on the four ways every time.
They don't click that way. At least mine don't click.
Your hazards don't click?
No.
Interesting. Mine do. Mine make that.
So I know someone who had so much of a problem telling their left from their right. So you'd say left or right, and they wouldn't be able to get it. But what you could tell them that they would understand was turn indicator up and turn indicator down.
Okay, I can see that.
That works. That works. Darth Dragonis says, I use turn signals so I can be mean to people who don't.
I mean, it's a lot easier and less hypocritical if you're using them and then you're mean to other people for not using them.
Right.
So, back to your original set of questions, though. I have mixed opinions on Graham Plattner.
We'll get to Graham Plattner in just a second. I want to read Maddie Holmes's comments real quick. I'm fine with left and right. I cannot get stage left and stage right. My brain keeps wanting to overcorrect. Oh, I know. I get it. The only reason stage right and stage left landed for me is because that was my original left and right. I'm dyslexic, but like it's a predictable dyslexia. Upstage and downstage always confused me. Didn't confuse me because I knew that the stage was tilted. So yeah, stage left and stage right make perfect sense to me. That's my left as far as I'm concerned. That is right. Which on camera should actually look correct because it's mirrored. But it's also, from your perspective, that being left looks correct because you're the audience. I'm on stage. Yeah.
Sorry. For me, it was the Pink Panther.
For you, it was what?
Pink Panther and the other cat.
Oh.
That would show up in the Saturday. Snagglepuss.
Exit stage left.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Maddie Holmes says, I'm pretty sure I have dyscalculia. I know I do. I cannot get numbers to sit still for the life of me. The only reason I'm good at higher math is because you're throwing letters in there, so my dyslexia and my dyscalculia have to fight it out, and I can get on with it.
And the double step. Let's put the alphabet in math.
Personally, that made it so much easier. Lockpick says, we should take over the world. Dyslexics of the world, untie!
Darn straight.
Working on it.
What jackass made the word multiple syllables right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get on to Plattner. For background, Plattner is running for Inut. Plattner is running for Congress in Maine. He's running against Susan Collins. The first thing that came out about him was that he had a Nazi tattoo. Then we found out that he slept around a lot and cheated on his wife a lot. And the last thing that we have found out, the last piece of information, not Senate, one of the two, he's running for one of the houses of Congress. I don't remember which one, Senate or but yeah. If it's Senate, I think you're right. I think it's Senate. So the latest round of accusations are are sexual assault. And, for one, this channel, one of our mottos is believe the victim. And we could argue that there are individual times where that doesn't apply, but on the whole, in general, believe the victim. We start from a position of, if someone makes that kind of claim, we go in with the assumption that they are telling the truth. And his explanation of the situation doesn't hold much water for me. When he said it was consensual, I went, oh, no. Just the mere allegations coming out, always take them seriously. We also try to preach, take the victim seriously. Yes. We also try to preach, do your own research. Yeah. So, when the allegations just came out, I was like, okay, this is too much. He just needs to not be running. It's too much controversy on one candidate. But the fact that he, and again, I take the accusation seriously. But any third bit of controversy on him was just like, no. And I was starting to sour on him as I realized that he was just saying he'd changed. He wasn't demonstrating his change. All right, Kat, you have opinions? Let's hear them.
I have some opinions, yes. My first one is, unfortunately, all of the stuff that I have heard about him in the last 2 weeks has been through Fox News. Every allegation, everything that he's done wrong, everything has been through Fox News. And I'm like, and every time I've gone to go look him up elsewhere, I've had something happen and I had to stop my research to go tend to things. And it's like, okay, I'm getting roadblocks on proving or disproving any of this stuff. We're going to go with bad news.
We're going to go with... What?
We're going to go with he's bad news. Because normally I don't get research roadblocks like that unless there is something really unsavory to find or unsavory to confirm, and someone doesn't want that found or talked about.
Interesting. So, I mean, it's been on NPR a relatively decent amount. Like, that's why I know about it. And I don't know much past what NPR talks about, but...
But I've been pet-sitting out in the middle of nowhere, have not been listening to NPR.
And where you pet-sit, NPR doesn't come in.
Right. And then when I'm in town, I'm at my afternoon gig where the little old lady I sit with watches exclusively Fox News, unless I can convince her to turn on Channel 29.
Yes, but she does not like Trump.
I know.
I'm just saying. Sometimes there's just a little ray of hope. Maddie says the bigger problem, besides the essay, is that it proves just yet again that the Democratic Party isn't doing the proper amount of research and vetting. And I think that is correct.
I think that is true.
There is someone in Maine that I don't remember the guy's name. There's a guy in Maine who is, ready for the position. He's been a career politician. He's squeaky freaking clean. He's got no, Now, of course, all of this is according to him. But he's been vetted over and over again. He's had high-level security clearances. Why are we looking at a Graham Plattner when there's that? Why?
Because the other guy doesn't have the charisma that Plattner does. And the other guy is a career politician.
Okay.
And when Plattner first started running and first started doing things, among other things, he was really, really, really smart about his internet presence. He got started very, very early doing Facebook and YouTube ads, getting his name out there and getting it said that I'm playing the simple, simple guy, the country guy, and playing up.
Where was the vetting apparatus?
It wasn't. Like I said, I thoroughly agree that they did not.
I agree with Maddie here that we spend way too much on charisma, that charisma has very little meaning when it comes to politics. And by politics, I mean the business of running the country, not the interpersonal politicking that gets in the way of the civics of taking care of the country. And I think that the fact that Graham Plattner could skip vetting by being charismatic is something that is, oh man, I don't quite know where I'm going with it, but it's indicative of a problem. I'm just not sure what problem.
The problem is being so eager for your party to win that you're going to pick the person with the most charisma to woo voters and not worry about whether or not that is someone you actually want holding that office. You just want that office to be blue or that office to be red. And that's how we got Trump.
I don't think that applies on the other side. I think, because if you notice, all of their politicians are achieving the things that those voters wanted. I mean,
they are, and they're not.
Up until a point,
yes.
that the agenda is getting what they want, and as Maddie so rightly points out, they're getting what they want by not giving a crap about SA or Nazi tattoos.
Yep.
Maddie points out that there were some who were fantastic at it, Obama and Mamdani, but pure empty charisma is a massive problem. There's that old political joke. Republicans fall in line, Democrats fall in love. I think that holds particularly true. Republicans, but they're happy to weaponize that to the smallest infraction to undermine left-wing politicians. Yes, Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And now, see, here's the thing: is like, I don't think I don't think it's unreasonable for us, any of us, and all of us to expect better from those who represent us. So I do think that these problems with not, I mean, the problems with, oh gosh, his name just slipped out of my mind. The guy we're talking about, Graham Plattner, before we found out about the SA allegations, the problem with Graham Plattner, I feel like we should have been willing to be like, no, we need to be able to expect better. I'm sorry, you have these problems in your background, and we expect better.
Mm-hmm.
And he
No.
was all like, I'm on my redemption arc. It's growth. Which, I mean, okay, sure, but also, I think people on their redemption arc may need to take a moment and recognize their position in the world and go, maybe my redemption arc needs to be personal, not national.
Hmm. I'm pausing right there because I'm where I need to be, and I'm getting out of the car. So
All right,
I
we'll speak
am.
to you again
I
in a
will rejoin
moment.
you shortly.
All
All right.
right. Maddie says, I mean, the bare minimum cannot be patron and business partner with one of the most notorious human trafficking pimps all time. True. I agree. I think it is. I also think that Plattner is doing harm by not by having not gotten out of the race immediately, and demanding to be able to pick his own successor, because there is no time for vetting, there's no time for primaries, there's no time for other people to make the choice. I get that his ultra progressive politics are what was endearing people to him, and what and he wants to make sure that but that's not really what he's doing. As I repeat a talking point from FD Signifier, what he's really doing is trying to control the narrative, trying to control what's happening. If you notice, this is the exact scenario that played out with Biden Harris. It's the GOP's new tactic. Yup. It is exactly what happened. So that's the. That brings me to the point that no more October's surprises. Now it's mid-June's torpedoing. Yep. Voting for the primary in Virginia, early voting for the primary in Virginia is open. So, Virginians, get out and vote again. And you're going to have to do it again this year as well. But we've got to do it. We've got to get out and vote. There are so many. I understand the criticisms of the system, but if we do not exercise this right, if we do not take part in this experiment of a self-governing democracy, it will be taken away from us. We do still I know that it's hard to believe that we have power because of the gerrymandering, but we do. We still have power. And even if even if we're gerrymandered to the point where it seems like we don't, making our voices heard, because the numbers still come out. We still hear the numbers. And those numbers still do have an effect on how things play out. Hey, Head Not Right. Thank you for being here. Great to see you. Maddie says, I can tell you that the GOP does not care about SA. No, they don't. They don't.
They do? They definitely do.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a requirement for their ballots.
Yep. I saw that on its way. A couple of years ago, we had a local state legislature race where a very disturbing video was dropped with the GOP candidate. And even though he was a carpetbagger and supported by the Koch brothers, he still won the race against the incumbent Democratic legislator who was super awesome. And now you're poolside too, by proxy. Yay, we're hanging out poolside.
That's why it got so humid in here all of a sudden.
Pool proxy.
No, I'm fully tucked in. I'm not hanging out.
Crap.
Deedly. Ha ha! Hey, Darth Dragonis.
Okay?
Did you get that thing I sent you?
I didn't realize you were fluent in Kirkese.
Oh, yeah, that is a little bit of Kirkese. No, No, I didn't. I know where this is going. Did you get that box of CDs?
Only cost a penny.
That thing I sent you? Ah, there it is. I totally thought we were going for a D's nuts joke with the ring. Did you get that box I sent you? What box? The box to CD's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was, just doing the Birdman. It's okay. So, one of the memeable lines from Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, was oh god, now I can't remember the guy's name. That's what he asked Gigi. I can't remember the hippopotamus's name.
Harry.
What?
I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
Hold on
Harry.
a second. No, that's Harvey Birdman. The hippopotamus was something else. Hold on a second. Give me just a moment, y'all. It's just potamus. Okay. But yeah, give me just a moment, y'all. I'll be right back. There we go. There we go. Peter Potamus. I think it is Peter Potamus, or is it just Potamus? But yeah, his memeable line was, "Did you get that thing I sent you?" Which was so easy to get mixed up with, "Did you get those CDs?" or "Did you get that box?" And the deedly ha ha is also from Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. That's Phil Kensebin. It's Peter. It is Peter. It's Peter Potamus. Okay. I am not making a Peter joke. Okay.
No, Maddie, what does potamus mean?
All the Peanut Babe jokes come from there as well. Okay. Peanut name jokes. Yes. Peter the Nutty. Hippo means horse. Potamus means river. I think in this context it means river or river walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Maddie, on in the Discord server, did you see my question about the sword that was discovered?
Oh, that's right. I vaguely remember that now.
In Poland, they discovered during a survey a bronze sword that's something like 20, 23, 25, 27, somewhere in there, in that general neighborhood of years old. And I was asking, since they at least announced that they had discovered and then moved this sword about 2 weeks ago when the heat wave hit, can we blame the sword for the heat wave? Can we blame them touching the sword for the heat wave?
It was cursed. 2700.
It was hitting something hot down in Poland, and they let it go, and it came here. Because it was found sticking straight up in the dirt.
Yeah, okay. I agree with Maddie on that. I do feel like, yeah, like, if you find an ancient sword sticking in the dirt like that, unless there's some very damp lady right there who just got out of a lake saying, if you draw the sword, you will be king, just leave it alone. You're not.
I mean, the people who found it with the metal detector, they were very brilliant and bright, and they didn't touch it.
I mean,
it's the archaeologists that moved it.
Damn it, Indy.
Yeah. Damn it, Indy.
I'm not saying that Starlink isn't doing some of it. Pulling it out of the ground would have been taming.
For where the heat should go.
That's what it is. What we're gonna find out, if you find stuff like that, please do not pull it out of the ground.
Yeah, no, the people that found it were good.
Leave it where it is and let the pros deal with it. Also, same, if you find alien technology, don't touch it. You could contract an alien virus and become electromagnetically charged. Leave it where it is until the pros get there.
So, what you're saying is it's dangerous until you do poetry.
Klingon or Vorgon?
No, Vorgon
Vogon.
poetry is dangerous. But poetry, you got to wait for the prose.
Oh. Prose can be poetry too. Maddie says if you have to remove it, and that can happen, very carefully dig it out as much as safely possible. Use your hands or a small shovel. Do not just yeet it out or thunk it out with a shovel.
This is good to know.
Yep.
Yeetimus Maximus.
No, Maddie is saying no, Yeetimus Maximus.
Yeetimus Maximus!
Woo!
No, Yeetimus Maximus.
No.
Remember that scene
Like
in The
a
Mummy
trowel.
where Evie has the teeny tiny tools. This is the time to use the teeny tiny tools and not be
Yes. The smaller and softer the tool you can use, the better. If you can use a watercolor paintbrush, that's actually not the best. The best, I think, is probably oil paint horsehair paintbrush. So we often use pickaxes to break up dirt. Huh. Finding native artifacts around here is extremely common. They teach us to never pull, always dig, even if it's something small like an arrowhead. Yeah, no one's digging out in a field with a paintbrush. I mean, no. No, but once you see it, once it's there. I knew a guy who could tell that what he was hitting with a pickaxe. Like an urn or a pottery piece or a vase. Wow. Oh yeah, I know the sound of that breaking. That's a plate. Yeetimus Maximus.
Sounds like a family motto.
Not
or
unless
family
it's...
crest.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh God, so many vapes.
Not unless it's a paintbrush covered up with dried acrylic paint. Oh, can tell from the vibrations. Okay. Just think, in 2,000 years, how many vapes they're gonna dig up? Oh God, yeah. And yes, we break things all the time. It's okay, we just glue it back together. The batteries will probably burn away the vapes by then. Oh, the batteries will burn away. New brakes are easier to deal with than way older brakes where it is all eroded, cracked, and fried. That's interesting.
I mean, makes sense. There's multi-part series of this lady trying to restore an extremely antique comb that's been in her family for ages. That age and mishandling had kind of crumbled, and it took her hours and hours and hours and days with acetone and glue and other things piecing this thing back together and making it whole again.
Okay.
And she also noted it was easier for her to fix things that broke as she was touching them because the break was right there versus trying to piece little bits back together out of what was essentially dust in the bottom of the Ziploc bag it had been living in.
That does make sense. Maddie says, also don't bother with gloves with artifacts, especially frail ones. Just keep your hands clean and dry, or as clean as possible. Darth Dragona says, fractured but whole. All right.
Would you like to start on the articles now?
Yeah, I think we're at about the point to start on the articles. I heard
I
Darth
did find a
Dragonis
part.
laugh in the background there. All right.
Mostly things that caught my attention.
One of the first digs I was on used a backhoe. They were digging out 6-foot trenches. But this was a CRM emergency archaeology. A
Kind of like what
CRM,
Time does
huh?
out. Okay.
What? Kind of like what? Who does out and what?
There's an archaeology group. They call themselves Time Team, and they've got their own TV show. And they will go into places where there is, or they think there's supposed to be, or there's rumored to be something of archaeological interest. And they've got like 3 days, 4 days to hunt around and find what they can because something is whatever is happening.
Okay. All right. That sounds.
I believe you.
Yeah. Maddie says those shows are always frustrating.
Mm.
Okay, what is a CRM emergency archaeology? What is that? Like, what's the situation where you have to do emergency archaeology? Is it like, I mean, I guess I could see well, let's let the pro tell us. Cultural resource management. Okay, that's what CRM means. Okay. And is that like in the situation where it's emergency archaeology, is that when like a building is supposed to go up or there's some public or in states like Arizona, they have survey undeveloped land to check for significant archaeology sites or bodies like Native American remains. They don't want to find those. Have to survey, yeah. So if those are found, so when there's a deadline before construction starts, they get in an emergency team. Or somebody gets in the emergency team. Okay, so it's construction based. Or if a site is found when a building is being fixed or they're rebuilding something and they find something. Yeah, that makes sense too. And they want it to get back to normal as soon as possible. That sounds I feel like there's a lot of colonialism involved here. I feel like it's very colonialist. They'll halt construction indefinitely for things like that here. That's good. Yes and no. I mean, it's good that they're getting stuff. I think it would be better if they could. There are places where they just shouldn't be building. Would finding the remains of Republicans in the pit that was the East Wing count as CRM archaeology? Republican spines. It's way better than just building new stuff without checking. It is. It is. We had to wait almost 10 years for a major road to be reconstructed because they found a massive grave. No, because that just happened in the last few years. These things only become archaeologically relevant after 50 years. Before that, it would be considered forensics. See, yeah, I'm with Peanut Gallery on that. The politicians are so old. I think they lost their spines about 50 years ago. Although, again, not all of them. Some of these are young spineless blobs. I do like the forensics, though. The idea of a forensics team looking for the Republican spines in the pit that was. I mean, Mitch was basically a living artifact. Was. 50 years ago was Nixon and Roy Cohn. And rat fucking, which is an actual term. So we're better, worse? I think it's about 6, 7. Yeah, it is. It's a legit political. It's a technical term. Yeah, and it's pretty messed up. Single word. Oh, it's just a single word. Yes, it happened in the Harris campaign. I'm trying to remember Al Franken. Yeah. Oh man. And even Plattner. And it's the June July torpedoing. That's basically what rat fucking is. I can hear Nickwork laughing on his screen right now from my phone at me having had to say that. DJTS 1308 is what I meant to say. Remember when John Edwards lost his career for having an affair with a consenting adult woman? I know, right? Like, was that really so bad now in retrospect? On the other hand, what we should be able to expect better, like I was saying, from our representatives. We shouldn't be in this position where it's like, okay, at least he's just a philanderer. It's like, man, do you even have to be a philanderer? I mean, if it is a consenting affair with an adult and the wife knew, I mean, ethical non-monogamy is one thing, and I'm fine with that. But better does feel like it should include private adult decisions like that. And I don't want to, I don't want to police people's morals. But I do feel like if it comes out, and I guess maybe even it's not the affair, it's the cover-up. If the cover-up happens, then it's like, okay, but yeah, if the affair is, hey, Chris in a 386, enjoy your lurk, buddy. Thanks for being here. Oops. Oh no. There wasn't a cover up. There wasn't. So I mean, like when it comes to it, I think I could get over it. Like you know, uh, I I'm not. I do think that we should. I just I'm willing to have, wiggle room around what I believe there, but I do solidly think that we should be able to expect better. And like certainly better from public decisions, public facing decisions, or or uh illegal and immoral behavior. Unethical, okay, maybe some of that can be overlooked, but I mean having I'm not going to say that having an affair is immoral. I think of it more as unethical. Doesn't make it right, but it's not one of those things that's woven into the very basic humanity of existence. Woven into the very basic existence of humanity. You know, it's doctors take the Hippocratic oath. Politicians take the hypocritical oath. Very good, very good. Very good. All right, so on to the headlines. Because this has just been sitting up here for a minute now. And I have to imagine people are like, okay, so what is going on here? Mount Olive Pickles withdraw from the Great American State Fair over Confederate flag display. Mount Olive Pickles have pulled out.
Dude, watch where you pause your hand in that motion.
Something about Pickles pulling out just. I need to worry about my camera angles, don't I?
Yes.
Now I can't help looking. Or at least let us watch. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I'll get through it. I'll get through this pickle. Mount Olive Pickles has pulled out of the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C. after North Carolina's booth included a Confederate flag display. The booth was run by private sponsors and was not organized by the state. The flag does not represent the North Carolina we love. America 250 is about unity and bringing our nation together, Governor Josh Stein said. The flag has since been removed, according to WRAL. In a post on X, Mount Olive Pickles, which is based in North Carolina, said it was unaware that a Confederate flag would be featured at the state's booth when it agreed to be part of the exhibit. We have withdrawn our participation. Our company stands on values of human dignity, opportunity, and freedom, Mount Olive Pickles said.
So, kind of the opposite of what the American State Fair is about.
Yeah. Hey, shaking his lock pickle at us.
I will note that there were a lot of people that signed up for this event back when it was the original delegation that had been picked to put everything together 10 years ago.
Right.
There's a lot of people that signed up in the last, say 8 to 10 years. That we're going to come, we're going to do this. This is going to be a big thing. This is a bipartisan event, and then we'd see what happened to it when someone decided, no, we're not going to make it, and let it be a bipartisan event.
I wouldn't say that it was a bipartisan event. I would say that it was more intended as an apolitical event run by a bipartisan group.
Fair.
Yes.
Fair.
What's this now? Oh, this is just a post about
that is the tweet that they put out about this.
Mount Olive Company was invited to participate in the North Carolina exhibit for the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C. as part of America's 250th celebration. We are proud of our North Carolina roots, y'all, and we agree to be part of an exhibit as presented to us. That would... Hold on, I can't do this quick in a Southern accent. Mount Olive Pickle Company was invited to participate in the North Carolina exhibit for the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C. as part of America's 250th celebration, y'all. We are proud of our North Carolina roots, y'all, and we agreed to be part of an exhibit as presented to us that would represent the best of our great state, y'all. We were unaware an image of the Confederate flag was included in a video as part of this exhibit, and we have withdrawn our participation, y'all. Our company stands on the values of human dignity, opportunity, and freedom for all, y'all.
I disagree with your interpretation of a Southern accent.
I just love the hashtag on that where it says ain't having it.
Ain't having it. Oh, I missed that. Ain't having it.
You mispronounced Washington.
Ah, yes.
Oh, no. Not all Southerners add R's. Not all Southern dialects add R's. Huh? No. I ain't a thing everywhere.
No, it's not.
And if you're doing a South Carolina,
no, more like Missouri.
Especially if you're doing a South Carolina in one of the more urban areas. No, yeah, one of the more urban areas. You tend not to add that R, y'all. It's a thing. Now, as you get more north in the more urban areas, you start hearing harder washing your hands, those sorts of things.
Not
Washington,
washing.
huh?
Not washing.
Washing. That's what I said. Washing your hands. But yeah. Not all the hashtag not all Southerners. Exactly. So yeah, they're not every dialect does that. Also, excuse me, Mr. Not from the South.
Excuse me?
He's from here.
Me? He weren't born here.
Huh?
Yes, I was.
Oh.
I'm the one that wasn't born here.
But you grew up somewhere else. You developed your speech pattern somewhere else. That's what
4
I mean.
years out of state.
What?
Only 4 years out of state.
Oh, dang it. Dang it. All right. That did not work.
No, it didn't.
Okay, really?
What's not work? Is it a link not working?
No.
Okay.
F9 didn't work. Instead of opening in read mode, it instead of opening in read mode, it locked my computer.
Well, that's fun.
You're supposed to hit F9, not FU.
Pretty much.
Apparently F9 is FU. All right. Minions director addresses if the characters ever worked for Hitler. French animator Pierre Coffin has finally addressed one of the internet's strangest long-running pop culture debates, whether the Minions ever worked for Adolf Hitler. In a new interview, Coffin was asked directly, what were the Minions doing between 39 and 45 during World War II? I knew you were going to ask me that question. Shame on you. I think they were in that cave, he added, referring to the ice cave where the Minions hid for 156 years after fleeing Napoleon Bonaparte in 1812, as 2015's Minions revealed. Okay, I don't care. I'm amazed I made it that far with not caring.
I know. That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean,
Is there another Minions post in the thing?
No, I don't have another Minions post there. I have other things. I don't have that.
Okay.
Which one was it that I meant to put and did not?
Oh, you didn't say anything about putting it. It's the one that I sent to you. Apparently, there is a new "quote unquote" satanic panic about
yes,
Minions.
Yes. I did not include that. I meant to include that. I did.
I mean, okay, I might be okay with watching. And no, I think I would enjoy Minions and Monsters. Like, it looks. And I'm not saying I don't like the Minions. I just don't care that much.
That's fine.
Like, oh my god. Just, what? Satanic panic about that? Why do people think that the...
Cthulhu!
Yes, they're wandering around with Cthulhu.
Cthulhu is not Satan.
No, but he is an eldritch horror, which, parents are apparently upset about.
Not the same.
Not the same.
At all.
Nope, not the same at all.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
but neither is Wolf.
What?
Neither is Wolf or Orcus.
True. did not. I did the other stuff.
The only thing that all of those have in common is that they show up in books.
Power of
That's
reading
it.
compels you.
Now, there is another thing that all of them do have in common. They are specifically, in the books they show up in, listed as evil.
Okay. I mean, yes, okay. That's fair. But I'm about to go off about satanic panics.
Let's go on with the next article. And
Sorry, did not mean to trigger.
if you are feeling strongly about it after this next article, I will pull up one he is referring to and post it for you to chew upon.
No. I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care enough about the minions to care. I have strong feelings about satanic panics, but like, they're gonna panic about something.
True.
Why can't people just enjoy this crap for the cute crap it is? It's fun,
Why can't they
cute
care about the proper
crap.
things?
What? Yeah,
True.
right? Exactly. Okay. So, Rob Reiner delivers a posthumous parting blow to Donald Trump.
Oh, yes.
The Forward brings you independent, nonprofit journal. Okay, blah, 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 blah. In a moment that drew a rare rebuke from even Donald Trump's stalwarts, the president took occasion of Rob Reiner's tragic death in December to claim the cause was anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, incurable affliction with the mind-crippling disease known as Trump Derangement Syndrome, something referred to as TDS. It was a tasteless, cruel, and not in the least bit funny. 7 months later, Reiner has punched back from beyond the grave. Whether he had the last laugh is a matter of some debate. In the second episode of Larry David's subsequential time, semi-quincentennial timed sketch series, Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness, Reiner appears as George Washington addressing an audience as he ends his second term in office. Ladies and gentlemen, a clean-shaven, wigged-up Reiner who filmed his appearance last November begins. I stand before you today as your president to announce that I shall not be seeking a third term. The choice to not continue in office, George W. Bush recently opined, in what some believe to be a veiled swipe at Trump, was perhaps the first president's greatest legacy. The crowd, including Larry David's outspoken contrarian, reacts in shock. For every precedent, Reiner, as Washington introduces David's character, chimes in with hypothetical challenges. Washington's hope that future presidents don't abide by his two-term example. David, what if some future president doesn't follow your lead? Washington, Congress can pass a constitutional amendment that would prohibit that. They did, the 21st, but only after Franklin D. Roosevelt served his 3 terms and 82 days of his 4th. David, what if there was some narcissistic prick who doesn't follow the Constitution? Washington says there are always sufficient guardrails. The Congress and judiciary wouldn't allow this. What if the Supreme Court is a bunch of yes men and Congress is a bunch of P words who care more about party than country. It goes on like this, rather talmudically, with Reiner remaining staid, as David suggests, a scenario where a future president might interfere with a peaceful transfer of power with an insurrection or kill American citizens to distract from his friendship with a pedophile. This is satire not with a scalpel, but with a bone saw. The sketch isn't quite funny. Mostly it's sad, and even Jimmy Kimmel makes a cameo, an allusion to Trump's attempts to censor him, to wave away the scenario, silencing free speech as improbable. What can we make of it all? Their philosophical camps and place great value in the jester's privilege to and the imperative for comedy to knock the corrupt. Do I need to read the rest of this?
Not really.
Okay.
You got the main point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to go on to get the Vermont point.
I'm gonna throw something at you, Bernie. I
I
mean, I did drop the F-bomb like twice already, Maddie. And I'm not. Well, the Vermont point is below the main point. I don't hold to that. I caused that. You're welcome. I don't hold myself to that. I have to say every word in a quote. If I find words in a quote objectionable, I allow myself to skip them. Yeah, because he already got me. Okay. And that is one of the words, that especially is one of the words I'm really trying to stop using. And it's not like I use it a lot or used it a lot, but I'm really trying to stop because I'm trying to stop using euphemisms for women's anatomy as a negative. I would much rather call the guy a dick, a prick, a penis, what T word?
Oh, you know what T word.
What? Oh.
If you're trying to avoid using offensive words, even in quotes, don't use the T word.
No, not all offensive
that's different.
words.
We're not giving him the notoriety of he who must not be named. He is the one that must be named frequently, oftenly, and especially in the Epstein files.
Also, his name is not a specifically his name is not specifically a use of women's anatomy to mean something negative.
No, this was supposed to. That text hit before you said that, or was supposed to hit before you said that.
Ah, they could have been referencing cats. Oh. Yeah, I bet he does drop the C word all the time. And I'm not going to tell Australians not to. And I'm not going to tell Brits not to. I'm not going to tell other people not to do this. But it is an exercise that I'm trying to hold myself to.
All right. Then in that case, you could substitute the word for what they're trying to say. Because effectively what they were trying to say was wimps.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like in the moment, I felt like I'd get called just as bad for saying wimp. So I just sort of let it go. Kitty cat. I have Australian and British friends on Discord that do that, and I have to remember to behave when I'm talking with locals afterwards. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And that's just, I mean, and you'll notice that DJTS 1308 won't say the C word. Tried to think if I've heard him say the P word before. But he's trying to stay away from that stuff just as much as I am. Is it just me, or is the C word worse than the F word in the US?
Oh no, it's worse.
Yeah.
There are people that react to that more than they do the word that Trevor skipped in the article.
Yeah. It is. Lockpick just drops the word.
Yes.
C word is definitely worse than fuck for most North America.
Yep.
Living with a Brit, I say C word a lot, and I kind of love the reactions. Yeah. Also, by the way, Master Rasta can say fag, and I'm not gonna, as long as he's talking about a cigarette, I'm not gonna be upset about that. If an American says it talking about a cigarette, I'm gonna be like, nah. That was just you trying to use the word. That was not okay. I just figured out that Trump is an acronym as well. Totally regressive, unimportant, moronic pedophile. Yeah. We all know the C word means. See, but I'm just trying not. I'm really trying not to say it. And I'm not gonna. And I'm not gonna, when I have to read a quote. No, I have not seen the Netflix history of swearing. Typing it.
Oh, it is worth watching. It covers all the wonderful words, and it covers especially in regards to this particular one that you're having issues with. Women being like, no, that's our word. We're taking it back.
I mean, yeah, there's that. I will find something else to say. I will type my way around typing that word. There's got to be a different way. I will skip quoting if I'm typing it. If I have to quote it, I'll skip making the quote. I'll type my way around it. I won't even type C word. Like, I'll just skip it. It's fair to find a way by using another word, but just to abbreviate it as C word, you're just basically using the word but pretending you aren't. Yeah. Yep. On mic, when we're referencing it, when it's coming out of a quote, when it's being talked about, it's I mean, I'm using that as clarification, not for saying it. And again, in those instances, I'll use a different word if I have my opportunity. I will call somebody a penis brain, a dick nose, disparaging parts of the male anatomy, asshole. I mean, I know women have assholes, but most of the worst assholes I've ever met are men's assholes, so.
Yeah.
I don't get a close enough look.
As a quote, I'd agree that C word works. Right on. So yeah, that's the... And, you know, if I was calling somebody, instead of saying the version of that word that starts with a P, I would call them a prick. If I had to use a curse word, I would probably call them a pusillanimous piece of pus. Because those are some great P words. I think the lesson here is there are always other words to use. You don't have to use, even if you're trying to be offensive, you don't have to use a word that denigrates other human beings. You don't have to use a word that denigrates parts of the female anatomy. You don't have to use a word that denigrates people with a different color of skin. You don't have to use a word that denigrates people with different sexual preferences. So prostate containment pocket is off limits? I mean, that's up to you. It depends on how much you're willing to pay. You're willing to pay enough, and that prostate containment pocket ain't off limits. As a phrase. No. A prostate containment pocket is not off limits.
There's going to be a day where poor Lockpick is going to be sitting there trying to wake up with his cup of coffee. And Master Ross is going to be there trying to wake up with his cup of coffee. And they're going to look up and they're going to see a strange vision looking at them through the window. And they'll be like, how did he get here?
My days of randomly teleporting into places without warning are over. I no longer do that. I give people warning now. I'll let them in after the first coffee.
See, so you get that's your warning. You show
with
up.
Coffee. I'll show up with coffee.
There you go.
Besides, you're not going to randomly teleport there. You already know it's not a Waffle House.
And you don't work for FEMA.
There is a coffee shop 100 feet away.
See? He's going to teleport to that coffee shop.
But how much coffee do you need to make it that first 50 feet? Actually, really, the question is how much coffee do you need to make it past that first 50 feet?
Don't look at me like that in that tone, Kevin.
All right. Let us move on.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to change it over. I just read all of that without anybody seeing it. Okay.
Yeah. I think we lived. Oh, yes, this one.
All right. Cats on a Couch Instagram creator barred from JD Vance event sues alleges violation of First Amendment rights.
Yep.
Amanda McGonigal.
Yep.
You know, I know. I just picture her. McGonagall has become such a cultural touchstone that even though I don't do Harry Potter, I'm not into it at all.
You still picture Dame Maggie Smith?
Yep.
Yeah, no. This lady is definitely far younger than her and definitely far more American. And blonde.
Amanda McGonigal runs an account dedicated to mocking the vice president and conducting mutual aid efforts.
Uh-huh.
Amanda McGonigal, creator of the social account at Cats on a Couch, filed suit today against the U.S. Secret Service and the executive office of the president, alleging that she was barred from an official government event because of her social media content criticizing the vice president. Let's see if I can do this next one without the lisp. It's absurd that the Secret Service is wasting their time tracking a satirical cat account on social media, said Amanda McGonigal. The government can't exclude me from the official vice presidential events just because I mock people in power on the internet. The Trump administration has routinely retaliated against people exercising their First Amendment rights, and this is just the latest example. But the First Amendment protects our rights to criticize the government, and it's well within my rights to say that I think J.D. Vance is an unlikable idiot. McGonigal registered to attend a vice presidential event in Maine in May and complied with all advanced guest guidance provided by the executive office of the president. While in line for the event, armed Secret Service agents and other government officials identified her in the line and told her she wasn't allowed in because we know where you stand. But I'm standing in line. The First Amendment protects every person's right to express their opinions and political views, free from fear of government retaliation or retribution, said ACLU of Maine staff attorney Anita Satui. Miss McGonigal uses her platform to criticize and satirize elected officials using humor to garner support for causes important to her and inform her followers about political developments. The freedom to mock has been a central tenet of American politics, of political discourse since the founding. The First Amendment cannot be revoked just because one of the country's most powerful people can't take a joke. All right, so what's this, McGonigal versus Curran? Anyway,
that is the lawsuit.
ah,
I included it in the original thing just so I've got it to go back and refer to later, but Curran is one of the head executive people that she is suing.
aha.
As a side note, yesterday, so most of the larger news organizations have picked up this story and have been thoroughly enjoying it, and have been quoting her favorite thing, that JD Vance is a sentient jar of mayonnaise. Yesterday, she released a statement on her account where she apologized to all of the news agencies for giving them such limited material to quote, and then proceeded to list off like 15 new things to call Vance.
Well played,
and gave them
McGonagall.
permission to please use these and have more things to call him than just that.
Sentient jar of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise has more taste.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but it also leaves a stain on the sofa.
Oh, pew pew pew. Oh, that was good. That was good.
So the lawsuit officially was filed like Tuesday of this week, and by Friday she'd heard enough where they were not giving, they didn't have a wide enough selection of quotes in her opinion, so she spent yesterday giving everybody far more
just
quotes
way
to use
more stuff to say.
Advance.
I appreciate that.
I also appreciate the ACLU's lawyers because they leaned into her shtick.
Yes, they did.
And the entire suit is filled with cat puns.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful.
She is effectively the main reason that in his autobiography that he just released, that he stated that his comments about childless women with cats was the stupidest thing he ever could have done, because her entire goal is to have more followers on social media than him by the time he leaves office.
And she has, doesn't she?
She's getting there. She's got more followers than him personally, and she is getting up pretty close to having more followers than him as vice president. His on the vice president account.
Wow.
Which means this news story is helping her achieve her goal.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Pardon me.
Free publicity.
Right? Next article. Entire police department relieved of duty in West Virginia town.
Yeah, this is one you should actually read, I think, the whole thing.
All right. Ready, everybody? Here we go. Barrackville, West Virginia. From WBOY. Wow, boy. A small West Virginia town has lost its entire police department. In a Facebook post on Tuesday, the Barrackville Police Department announced that effective immediately, every member of the department has been relieved of duty by the Barrackville Town Council and the mayor. The entire police department at the time consisted of just 2 officers. One of the officers, former Barrackville Police Sergeant Hunt, told News 2's sister station WBOY, wow boy, that after arriving at the department Tuesday morning, he found that someone had broken into the evidence room. Hunt called a meeting with the mayor, Tom Strait, and the Barrackville Town Council to discuss the situation, noting that the council previously mentioned a desire to inventory the department without any officers present. Council member Alex Neville, who also confessed to taking a set of police keys, Hunt said. Hunt said that when he alleged that members of the town's government broke into the evidence room, he and the other officer on staff were immediately placed on inactive status. Hunt added that the police clerk also quit. Hunt informed the mayor and council that he would be claiming whistleblower status. The move comes less than a week after Barrackville Police Chief Zachary Freeburn resigned from his position due to disputes with the town council about overreach, according to Hunt. The Barrackville Town Council was originally scheduled to meet on Tuesday night. However, a Facebook post made Monday night announced that the meeting was canceled due to a lack of sufficient information regarding items listed under unfinished business. This notice was also posted on the front door of the town hall. Attempts by WBOY Wow Boy to reach government officials either by phone or in person at town hall have been unsuccessful. Happy Sunday, Just Me Crystal. Much
Saturday.
love. Happy Saturday, whatever day it is. Marion County Sheriff Roger Cunningham told WBOY Wow Boy that while it has always done so, the Marion County Sheriff's Department will continue to respond to Barrackville as it would anywhere else it is called to in Marion County. WBOY also contacted former Barrackville Police Chief Zachary Freeburn, who shared a letter that he wrote for the town council's Tuesday night meeting. That letter can be read below.
It's a link that you're not going to see because you're in reader mode, but here, there. I've put it in the Twitch chat for you. You and whoever. So yeah.
Hold on.
So the city council wanted to go messing around in police evidence with nobody else. Which, even if you don't want one of your station's officers there, you should have someone there. Because that includes evidence that might be evidence against the council members that are going in.
Yeah.
So, doing it without anyone else present, and then stealing keys to the building, and someone going in and messing around anyway, and doing it in such a fashion that when the police walk in, they're like, someone has robbed our evidence room.
Right.
Like, okay.
So okay. And has anybody talked to Alex Neville?
Who? What?
Alex Neville also confessed to taking a set of police keys, Hunt said.
All we've got is that confession so far.
There is something fishy going on here. Something very, very, very fishy in Barrackville.
Do you want me to read the letter to the town from the former chief?
Yeah. I was looking over it there for a second.
Yeah. Fishy is the word.
Go ahead and give it to us. Yeah. I'm from Virginia. We are in Virginia. We're not
in West Virginia, but
we're close enough that we could go ask questions, I feel like,
if we had to.
if we wanted to.
All right. Letter to the town of Barrackville from former Chief Freeburn. To the council members and citizens of the town of Barrackville, I am writing this letter and having Sergeant Hunt read it to hopefully answer some questions and provide clarification into the reasoning for my resignation as Chief of Police, town of Barrackville. First, I would like to thank the citizens of the town for the overwhelming support throughout my time at Barrackville. In the 8 years that I've been in law enforcement, being your chief of police has been my greatest honor. I'd like to apologize to the citizens for my abrupt departure, and please know it was not without reason. After the new council took office, within the first hour of being elected, I had a meeting behind closed doors that immediately raised numerous red flags as to the direction the town wished to take the police department. During this discussion, I was informed a council member would be directly supervising the Barracksville Police Department, which is against West Virginia Code. The mayor is in charge of all daily operations of the town and police department, and the only person he can appoint to supervise a police department is the chief of police. The council member then informed me of numerous changes they would be making, including changes to policy, procedure, and numerous directives that they would be giving me in addition to adding numerous changes to daily work life, where most police activities would have to be approved by them prior to any work being done, including hours worked. This again is a violation of West Virginia State Code, as the chief of police is the person in charge of all of these items. Trying to be professional and realizing I do not know everything, I offered an open discussion into potential changes, as I'm always open to bettering myself in the department. This was immediately shut down, and I was told, and this is a rough quote, but it's what I remember, if I give you a directive, you follow it. This is not an open discussion. I'm in charge, and what I say goes. This type of mindset, especially in law enforcement, is extremely dangerous. To have the only people employed by the town that have experience in working municipal law enforcement in the state of West Virginia, and the only people trained by the West Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Subcommittee on the proper way law enforcement officers and agencies operate in the state, being completely unallowed to have any input into changes being made, can and will put the officers and the citizens of the town in danger. The way the entire conversation unfolded and the tone was also extremely disrespectful to myself, other officers, and the police department as a whole. If this is how I am being treated in the first hour of a new council, it shows how much of a hostile work environment myself and the other officers were about to be subjected to. As someone who has previously dealt with a hostile work environment and misconduct in office from superiors, I decided it was in my best interest for my safety and mental health to resign my position. I also feel it is extremely important that these issues be brought to light. Over the past several months, the biggest complaint I have heard from the citizens has been that of a lack of transparency. I have heard from countless residents of the issues with closed-door meetings and how things done in the town are never public information. As the chief of police, I serve the citizens of the town of Barrackville and the police officers of the Barracksville Police Department. If these issues were to remain behind closed doors, they would never be addressed. In order to assure the best possible protection for the officers of the Barracksville Police Department and citizens of Barracksville, I stand by that I made the right decision in resigning immediately so that these issues can be properly addressed and the citizens can hopefully begin to get transparency that they have been asking for. Finally, I'd like to apologize to the town for my immediate resignation, but please note, if I thought there were another option, if I thought there was another way, and if I thought the members of the department could not properly protect the town without me there, I would have stayed. I'm confident in the ability of the police department to continue as long as much needed changes are made. This letter was written prior to the announcement on July 7th of the entire department being dismissed from duty.
You can't quit, I fire you.
Right? That's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, that is sketchy. That is.
Oh, yes, I saw that, Maddie. Basically, yeah, you can't prosecute me. I fired everybody.
There was a move to take the breast off the Virginia flag,
Yes.
or at least the nipple.
Yes.
Can't prosecute me. I fired everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. I am really wondering what is going on in that town.
Mm-hmm.
I bet ya we could interview just people in the town, and we would get some idea of what the town council is actually doing.
Oh yeah.
Because behavior like this is a drug and sex ring kind of behavior.
Yeah.
This isn't like, oh, we're selling half the town to a Chinese conglomerate behavior. This is drug and sex ring behavior. Especially because if they were doing something like selling half the town to some foreign conglomerate, they would bring the police department in on the deal.
Mm. Well, for
Also,
reference, for later, at another point in time.
evidence.
They're only
Evidence.
100 and... Yeah, they're only about 100 something miles away from us.
Psh, that's barely anything.
So you say if it was the corporate takeover, they would have been trying to bring the police in on it?
Mm-hmm.
I
This might have
think
been
so.
some dumbass's idea of bringing them in.
Right, that changed. Either way.
I mean, it could be, but like, that is the worst way to do it.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they're dumb enough to be doing these deals in the first place, so they're obviously not that indulgent.
Or they think that they have enough power to not get caught.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. Okay, so like, thing is, this would be one of those situations where it's not the deal that's illegal, it's the cover up. Which is why, as I think about it, because they broke into the evidence locker,
Yeah.
that means that there was evidence of some sort of law being broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, evidence of sketchy business practices, sketchy municipal practices. Because it's like, it's not illegal to sell off your road to a foreign business concern that will then put tolls on your road and not repair your road.
Yeah.
That is one of those things that sort of is allowable. Now, your constituency might be really angry, and you
So
may want to
while the
hide it from,
actual
huh?
while the actual act itself is technically not illegal, the way it may have been enacted could very well be illegal because making such a decision about municipalities' resources without either public comment or a chance for a public vote.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Which would also be part of that cover up.
That is true. But yeah, it's, I'm just saying, sounds a lot more like drugs and sex.
Yeah.
And I bet you if it's drugs, and probably if it's sex, the people in the town know.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you the people in the town know. I bet you, yeah. Sort of like,
That would be you go walk along Main Street or whatever, and you look for the local diner and find the crustiest person sitting in there, and go ask them.
right. Ask them,
And then
yo,
you go
what's.
walk along the residential streets, and you look for whichever old person is sitting on a porch.
Mm-hmm. Now,
So,
is that information that you can journalistically then publish on? Not really.
yes.
I mean, you can say off the record or had conversations with locals, but it's not the kind of thing that you can go, okay, now we know. You can't,
You
with
can't say
journalistic integrity, can't say that that counts as knowing what's going on.
you can't say as a certainty that you know what's going on, but you can report it as this is what the town believes is going on, or what the
Yes.
citizens that were interviewed believe is going
Yes.
on.
With the correct
Um,
wording, you can go to publish with it.
oh yeah,
According to sources.
according to sources, exactly.
and we can go to publish with whatever we want to because we have no journalistic integrity. Actually, that's not true. We do.
I mean,
Just not a
technically, I
lot.
have a little bit more journalistic integrity than you do, but yes.
Exactly. I'm not a
Yeah.
journalist. I am a member of the free press. There is a difference.
I was about to say there is no oversight. And then you said that, and that was definitely an oversight.
But all right. We should probably move on. It is getting late and we have a ways to go still, don't we?
Not too far, honestly. Um, 1, 2, 3. You only have 3 stories left. And I think you're going to love the next one.
Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Teens arrested for breaking into high school with homemade plasma cannon. A powerful explosive? I mean,
No, powerful explosives of what they had at the cafeteria.
right.
Yeah.
Reality has officially crossed over into comic book style science fiction. Now that a pair of 18-year-olds in Greensboro, North Carolina are facing a long list of criminal charges after police say they used a homemade plasma cannon to break into a high school, pulling off a crime that sounds like it belongs in the pages of a Spider-Man comic. Spider-Man?
Homemade
I mean, I
plasma
guess
can. That sounds like
I
something Peter Parker might do.
No.
Alright, fine. It
no,
sounds like something MacGyver would do and then Peter Parker would steal from him.
no. It does sound like something a couple of 18-year-olds in a Spider-Man comic might do. It doesn't sound like Spider-Man. He wasn't a canon kind of guy. Um, however, it does sort of sound like right out of a, but it just feels. I mean, according to records reported by FMY News 2 and Fox 8, Solomon Carvello Bell and Cheyenne,
Chase.
huh?
Chase.
Chase?
Chase.
Harikaran? Wow, these are some names. Tell me these were white boys.
They were out messing around with the plasma cannon.
No. Tell me
2
they were
a.m.
white.
on July 5th. The video.
This
Oh,
sounds
there's a
like
video.
this sounds like some white boy.
All right. After you get done reading, switch back to regular mode and scroll down. There's a video.
Okay, so yeah, they used them. They built a plasma cannon and used it to melt through a plexiglass entrance door. Really, you call that locked? Plexiglass? Jesus,
Yeah.
you guys are lucky they didn't just throw a brick at it.
I know.
This sounds like some white boy antics.
I think
All
it
right.
is.
All right. That's the making of the cannon. Is that them?
Let's see.
How far down is there?
That's the thing.
This one?
Yeah. Looks like it. Let's see. One of them. Where's the pictures? Yeah. You have actual pictures?
Okay, they're just trying to show me this I was sold into a slave market thing.
No, we don't need that. Hey, they've got a bond now.
No, they've got a Bond villain.
No, not quite. That's the next homemade improvised science project thing that they do.
Alright. It's not giving me any, like, other than this.
No. No, these unfortunately were not two white boy things.
My question is, why is this sounding like some white boy shenanigans?
Because only white boys would be dumb enough to go I mean, obviously breaking the law in such flair that has white privilege written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't, if you are any sort of marginalized group, you know that the only time you're allowed to be visible is when you are completely legal.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
See, I was getting a different read from what you were saying.
What were you reading from what I was saying?
I was getting the read of, oh, white boy going to be able to make the plasma cannon.
Oh, no. No.
That's the read that I was getting,
I just
which
think
is
that,
why I was having a bit of an issue.
Ah.
no, no. No, this is this is a white privilege thing. This is white people think they can do whatever the F they want, that the rules don't apply to them. And if they do it cool enough, dude, it'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. I put the screen grab from a different news story in the chat for you.
Okay. Oh, wait, wrong thing. That's what I'm looking for. Man, didn't they get taught that can't ever let the white man see how smart you actually are? Can't be letting white men know that you know how to make a plasma cannon.
Yep.
Ain't safe. Ain't safe for anybody.
Nope. Well, you only have 2 stories left now.
Oh man, that's just. Now I'm
Can
gonna
you
be
imagine?
worried about those guys because that's some. I mean, okay, that is some high school shenanigans, right? I mean, aside from the
Yes.
plasma cannon thing, which I think is awesome. But otherwise, that's just some. That's some. Yeah, that's true too. To be fair. But that's just like, okay. And if a white guy did it, if white boys had done it, it would have been some high school shenanigans. There's that white privilege. Like, that's some kids being kids crap right there. That's not. But those kids' lives are now. They'll be lucky if they're allowed to watch YouTube or go near science ever again. They're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be barred from science for the rest of their lives because they could be a danger because they once used some science to pull a prank. And it just
Either
is.
that or one of the scientific think tanks that only cares about results is going to be like, aha, new
No,
interns.
no.
Oh yeah.
That's not what's gonna happen to those two guys. Those two guys are now in the legal system. They will now spend the rest of their lives in the legal system. The scientific think tanks are going to go, no, they've got a record. They're
See,
dangerous. We can't let them near science. They're dangerous. They've got a record.
I somewhat
Those
agree with you,
kids.
and I somewhat agree with her. And the part where the two interlap or overlap is the one word that she said, interns. No credit, no payment, no visibility, all the blame.
Yeah.
They're
No,
not
there
even
will
going to
be
be
something.
considered for that. They're not even going to be considered for that. Now that they have a record, they're done. That's the way the criminal justice system in the US works. Unless you're white. Which is why white people have the privilege to pull off dumb white people high school shenanigans like building a plasma cannon and burning their way into the school. Like, no. Yeah, like, it. This is. They shouldn't be facing severe criminal charges for this, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, yes, I realize that. But again, this is all just high school shenanigans and should be treated as such. But no matter what these two kids do, the rest of their lives is ruined by this.
And that is going to be compounded by their age.
Well, they've got a long time ahead of them for the rest of their lives. How
No.
old were they?
They were 18.
Oh. Oh no, that's not actually that big a deal anymore. Now that they're allowed to charge black children as adults, that's really stopped mattering.
No, what I'm saying is they had already graduated from the high school, so they were technically had no reason to go back.
I mean, I suppose that makes a difference. But again, it's not going to make that big of a difference in the ultimate arguments of it. They are yeah. Like they're if they were under 18, if they still went to the school, they'd have had the same outcome. And they'd have been charged as adults. And they would have ruined the rest of their lives. Not they. The rest of their lives would have been ruined. This isn't about them being black. This is about them creating an explosive to break into a building. I mean, yeah, kind of. I kind of turned it into a them being black thing because I was pretty sure that it would be white people who would be dumb enough to do something that visible. Yeah, I realized that when I saw what they built. I mean, it is technically plasma based because fire is plasma. And it is using fire, but it's not like it's not what you're thinking. in any way, shape, or form. It is a... There's a way of using air and in a jar, in a bottle, and getting the fire so it pushes the fire out of the bottle in a very concentrated at a very concentrated level, but it's not. But yeah, I I think you can look at this from its people who made an explosive device to break into a government building aspect. I think there is also an aspect of this that needs to be that can be examined through the lens of racism. Um, yeah. Well, yeah. I get that. And I realize I don't think any case should harm the situation, by the way. I think that, and I realize that I dug myself into this hole by saying that it sounded like some white boy antics. And I still think it does sound like white boy antics, because I really do think that to do something that visibly stupid takes a level of I think it depends on the white kids, for one. I don't know that they would. I don't know that they would. Like, white white privilege in the US is a powerful thing. It is a powerful, powerful thing. Now, we are also location. We're also in a different time than I guess when I came up and what I would consider normal high school shenanigans. Because any explosive near a school is kind of all of a sudden a big deal. For good reason. It just... I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I don't I don't feel like I feel like white privilege would I feel like adding white privilege to the mix would have changed it. Would have changed what happened, what went on.
It might. It also depends on who the other people involved with, because apparently now, looking at more recent stories, there were more people involved in this than just those two. There's at least one other person that is under the age of 18 that they're not releasing the name of, if not two more.
So, well,
But for all the seriousness of the charges that they have been hit with, they are out on bond, and the only restriction they have is to stay off of the school property. And don't talk to anybody that was involved in this. That's the only bond restrictions they have.
That's not bad, at least.
No.
That is okay. See, that is kind of what I would expect a couple of white kids to get for that.
Yeah.
So, all right, fairness there seems like a bit of a slap on the wrist, and I'm all for that considering. Also, we don't necessarily know what they were about to try and do, or what they were doing. Do we know what they were doing in the school?
We do not know what they were doing in the school. One is completely denying being in possession of the cannon. He just came along because he wanted to wander around the school and reminisce.
Okay.
The other one is not saying nothing until he gets his lawyer. We
Smart
haven't heard
kid.
out of one or more other conspirators that there are.
Okay, see, Lockpick, that was also my point. That was also my point, bro. Like, a plexiglass door is like inviting high schoolers to break in. Just hit it with a rock. Jeez. Go making a plasma cannon. Adding time to your sentence. You don't need to show up with an automatic weapon just to show how big your gun is. It's just extra time on your sentence.
There was at least one other person that was under the age of 18 that was released into the custody of their parents that night. No, I mean the cannon worked well enough to melt the door, and it also worked well enough to set the bushes outside the school on fire.
Man.
Which,
when we were kids, we just found the kid who was best at getting up to the second floor and in through one open window, which just happened to be me.
Yeah. There were definitely better ways to go about sneaking into the school for whatever purposes that did not involve, among other things, setting the bushes in front of the school on fire and being noticeable.
Go get yourself caught and dumped it. No. They never locked the service door on the roof in my high school, and it had a ladder out by the loading docks to let us climb up there. Jeez. They were just asking y'all to hang out.
No, that is the case of you're going to get in here one way or another. If you really want to get in here, you're going to go this route and not damage our stuff doing it. This way you're getting exercise to get in and out, and we don't have to replace windows or locks.
That is way too progressive thinking, I think. Well, I don't know. They are Canadian. You're thinking way too progressively for Americans, anyway. I bet you it's still open to this day.
For Americans, yes. But, they're Canada. I expect them to be better.
Keep expecting. Hey, DJ Jason 1.
Hello.
Good to see you in here. Thanks for being here. I think it is about time to move on to our next article.
Last article, we got two more.
Yeah.
So we can move on yet.
What?
So we've only got two more.
All right. Good, because I gotta pee. It's just about time for us to take a break. Or
Okay.
be done. Also, we've been on for a while. Going on 3 hours. Police detained 2 teens after a joyride in Waymo in Northern California. These kids were drunk and partying and shooting Orbeez
Yep.
out of the side, shooting people with Orbeez out of the Waymo.
Yep.
They were. And you know what the police ultimately said, though? I mean, other than all the other illegal stuff they did, at least they took a Waymo.
At least they decided not to drink and drive.
Right.
But the Waymo,
Yes,
the Waymo
exactly.
reported them.
Oh, yeah, the Waymo totally reported them. They got video of it. The Waymo had video of it and sent that to the cops. How do you ride in a self-driving car? Boy, these kids figured it out.
Waymo does not have an anti-snitch option.
No, they do not. That is, yeah, buddy. Something to remember.
Which, if nothing else, if you are ever getting kidnapped and the kidnapper, for whatever stupid reason, decides to use a Waymo as their escape vehicle to take you to the airport,
you know you're being watched.
You know you're being watched, and if you manage to say enough times, "Let me go, I'm being kidnapped," or whatever,
yeah, right.
It's probably going to call the cops on them.
Right. Man.
It's called a Waymo. There's Waymo narkin.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, I love that. Now, I mean,
yeah,
okay.
Waymo's a self-driving car.
Please stop kidnapping me. Exactly.
Yeah. And
On the other hand, oh god,
I guess sitting in the back, drinking underage, and shooting people with Orbeez is how you joyride it.
Right, that's how you do it. These kids figured it out. I also love that they were using Orbeez, water beads, because that's, I'm not going to say it's safe, but it's a lot safer than it could have been. It's a lot safer than airsoft.
It is.
You're a lot less likely to put an eye out.
Maybe.
Oh, but I was hoping for Christmas.
No.
You put an eye out, kid.
You're not getting the summer version for the Easter Bunny or whatever it was.
You put your eye out, kid.
Really?
It's a major award. It must come from Italy. It says Fragile.
It was like an Easter story or something. It was the opposite end of the calendar sequel.
What damage are you going to do? See, very little. Very, very little, and that's the point.
Oh yeah, there is an Orby gun. There are.
We've got ammo.
We do have the ammo. We use the ammo for other things.
I'm terrified.
It makes wonderful decorations for growing plants.
I'm terrified.
Glow in the dark Orbeez.
Yes.
I'm terrified. This is going to become a video now. I'm going to get shot with glow in the dark Orbeez, aren't I?
No.
No.
We don't have something to fire them with other than possible slingshots. And 2, we're not wasting them on that.
No, these are the cool glow-in-the-dark ones. We're keeping those.
And
I'm not saying you guys are wasting those. Remember, Head Not Right is in the chat.
Head Not Right. You can find them at Tractor Supply.
No, you can't.
No, you can't?
No.
You can find them at Walmart.
If an Orby gets embedded under the skin, you only have so much time to remove it before it starts to expand. Ooh.
The dry ones, yeah. No, this gun was shooting the actually hydrated ones, so it was the little marble-sized water pellets. But yeah, no, there's a whole slew of different things, different guns that will fire water pellets.
This is going to become a video.
See, you said Orbeez and teenagers getting drunk and whatnot. And honestly, I was not thinking Orbeez with the whole setup. I was thinking more along the lines of the revamped Aquadots. And what they were unfortunately known for before they were revamped.
What are Aquadots?
Aquadots was a sort of crafty type thing. They were plastic beads. You'd soak them in water and stick them together.
Yep.
They had templates and whatnot.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the water-based adhesive that they were gripped in.
Only if you sit down wrong, Jason 1. What? Only the... I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Unfortunately, the water-based adhesive that they were coated in also doubled as a roofie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was true. And they didn't realize it until little kids started putting these things in their mouths, because, we know that's what's going to happen. And they started acting really weird, and parents were like, what's wrong with you?
The thing is, they tested it to prove that it was non-toxic. And it technically was non-toxic. It unfortunately had unintended side effects that older people took advantage of.
Yep.
Wow. I had no idea. Most electric models have a firing velocity ranging from 140 to 200 feet per second. The range with a range of 80 to 100 feet. The impact feels like a light tap, making them much safer and less painful than airsoft or paintball guns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Of course, that's also assuming they survived the launch.
This is true.
Huh?
There's a lot of gooey gel shrapnel.
Yeah. Now I want one. Yeah. Yep. Again, this is like... I want 4 mounted on the roof of the truck. Of course you do, Lockpick. There's so many bad drivers out there that just having... even just any type of mounted cannon. They're biodegradable. That makes them even better. Oh, God. I can see Lockpick with cannons, with Orby cannons on the truck.
Well, since you can mentally picture it, does that make it head cannon?
Yes, it does. Now.
Yes. Oh, man. All right. Last one. Last story. Oh, okay. This looks... You have to go showing them where you can get them and stuff.
I am a helpful researcher, are I not?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but who are you supposed to be helping?
Myself.
Exactly.
All right. So, Next article, Virginia State Police clarifies marijuana enforcement after internal email sparks confusion over new law. Virginia State Police is clarifying its marijuana enforcement policy after an internal email showed instructions from a lieutenant stating that there are no Code of Virginia violations related to marijuana. Following changes enacted in this year's state budget, a directive that aligned with questions over whether Virginia inadvertently created a year-long gap in its marijuana laws. VSP Superintendent Jeff Katz indicated, however, that VSC will continue to enforce cannabis laws. VSP acknowledges that there have been rumors and questions pertaining to the agency's posture on cannabis enforcement. He said in a statement, "I would like to make it clear that Virginia State Police will continue to enforce existing laws in line with Code of Virginia." The state code says in the title of the relevant law that repeal will not occur until July 1st, 2027, when the new marijuana law goes into effect. Virginia Scope obtained an internal email from Lieutenant Brandy A. Molinar stating that there are currently no laws for marijuana enforcement in Virginia. As of July 1st, 2026, there are no Code of Virginia violations related to marijuana, Molinar wrote, adding that an informational bulletin would follow with more guidance. Any enforcement action taken since July 1st was to be reported to her immediately so the appropriate Commonwealth's attorney could be notified, the email said. Task force coordinators were told to relay the directive to all task force officers and ensure compliance until further notice. Okay. It is unclear who the email was sent to. A source with knowledge of the situation told Virginia Scope that Molinar was erring on the side of caution while awaiting further guidance. The email from Molinar said that if an arrest stemmed from a seizure of more than 5 pounds of marijuana, VSP could coordinate with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, which she said would adopt such cases for federal prosecution, but only if contacted before any enforcement action was taken. Multiple Commonwealth's attorneys quickly raised a red flag with colleagues, with one sending an email to the statewide listserv for localities. The confusion stems from this year's state budget bill, House Bill 30, which included new marijuana marketplace legislation as part of its enactment clauses. According to the legal opinion of one of the Commonwealth's attorney and a separate advisory sent to prosecutors statewide by the Virginia Association of Commonwealth's Attorneys. That was a lot of words. The bill repealed 2 existing marijuana statutes, which criminalize distribution and possession with intent to distribute, and which bars possession of anyone under 21 without specifying a delayed effective date for the repeal itself. The new regulatory framework meant to replace those statutes is contained in a separate enactment bill and does not take effect until July 1st, 2027. The argument is that the repeal of the old laws took effect immediately alongside the rest of the budget bill on July 1st, 2026, creating a year-long... creating a year-long gap in which they say marijuana distribution and underage possession are effectively unregulated under state law. Okay.
one of the Commonwealth attorneys is holding the opinion that this is what's going on right now.
I mean,
and specifies that this change does not affect cases or forfeitures that were tied to conduct that occurred earlier this year before July 1st.
All right. Do y'all know what I'm about to say? Y'all know what I'm about to say? Can you all guess what I'm about to say? Because my knee is jerking hard all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to continue to enforce the laws. Of course the law isn't going to magically end. And of course it's supposed to be put off, even if the language is wrong. Our governor is a cop. Let's just not forget that. She may be a Democrat, but she's a cop. She is a cop. Why did we take her out of Congress where she belonged? She was good for us there.
She was better than the Timu jerk that we had.
Yes. Or the aging version of Candace Owens they were trying to make us take.
Yep.
But she's a cop. She's a Fed at that. Of course it's gonna be about the laws. Oh, God. Okay. We're not really going down this road again. Oh, okay, no. So Jason 1, if I had kept up the land, like if I went out there and cleared the land a bit and put it out, I could have 4 plants growing outside right now. Or if I took away all of that and did the thing back up like I used to have it, I could have 4 plants. I could have 2 plants in there, 3 plants in there right now. Legally, we're allowed to grow up to 4 plants per house. No weight restriction on it. We're allowed to have 4 plants per house. And they really, yeah, like it's, I am afraid that they are, oh yeah, we've got grow tents. I also don't know that I have the, I'm keeping my houseplants alive, my regular houseplants alive. I'm just not, I'm not great at it. I'm learning. And I'm okay at growing cannabis. Like I've grown some good, not great. I know the basics of it. I know, but I'm not gonna say that I'm like great at it. Yeah. You're allowed to have it. You're allowed to grow it. There is licensing to be able to sell it. You're allowed to make food products out of it and sell those.
Yes.
You're allowed to refine it and sell it.
And I think if you're into doing that kind of thing, you're allowed to do your own, in conjunction with the only distilling like a gallon or whatever the max is for homemade moonshine. You're allowed to infuse that and sell it or whatever.
Yeah. You're
Because it's like 2 gallons. 2 gallons. I think you're allowed to make
also,
2 gallons of moonshine per house or whatever.
wow. 2 gallons of moonshine per house.
I can't remember if it's per
Kinda
house or per
terrifying.
adult.
2 gallons per adult? No. That's dangerous.
So,
Yes.
2 gallons per house.
Yes.
Does this mean that a landlord can run a distillery and not have to worry about it?
No.
I mean, also the
Only
way that they measure per house is per owner of house.
So
Yes.
per household,
Yes.
Yes.
not house.
And renters don't actually count as households.
Well, I mean, for the landlord, they don't. For themselves, they do. So if you were renting, you could because you're
Not for the
renting a
growing.
unit and you're a household.
Not for growing. For growing, you have to both be the resident and owner of property.
That makes sense because that's more involved.
Which makes me think that moonshining is similar, but
I mean, technically.
as you say, not necessarily. I worry that we'll backslide on these little things. And that we will get closer and closer to me going back to jail.
We could, but it also sounds like, despite the phrasing of people, legislature people sending out basically an advisory and saying, "Oh no, we meant it this way."
Right.
There seem to be a lot of prosecutors that are looking at it and going, "You may have meant it that way, but you wrote it this way."
But you wrote it this way, and we're going to go with what you wrote.
Yes.
And really, it is the prosecutors that matter.
Yep.
By the way. They're the ones who choose who to prosecute.
So there is...
the cops matter a lot because they're the interaction with the public that can go terribly wrong and lead to people getting shot.
Lead to things like good and pretty. Yes.
And, oh God, what's his name? The new guy. The guy who just... The guy who just got... The guy who just got shot. The guy who just got killed. Let's not diminish what actually happened to him.
Honestly, I'm more familiar with the baby.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's how you get things with cops that are not being.
But the prosecutors, after the cops are done harassing the public and making their, being cops, the prosecutors are the ones who decide which cases move forward. The prosecutors are the ones who decide what they're gonna do, what they're gonna go after, and how they're gonna go after it. It's the prosecutors who... If a prosecutor especially dislikes you, unless you've got really good lawyers, you're pretty screwed. They're the ones who, if a prosecutor decides that for whatever reason you're not worth it, or it's not, or the law is unjust, or the this or the that. They're the ones who can, A, say, no, I'm not going to try this case, or B, say, I'm not going to do a great job. Prosecuting attorneys are at much less risk of, I think, at much less risk of there being claims of bad practices. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass at this point on this one. I was going to say a prosecutor who tanks a case is probably less likely to get in too much trouble or get in a whole lot of trouble over a defender who tanks a case, but I don't know. It depends on the case, depends on the prosecutor, depends on the defender, depends on all of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I gotta not. I know all lawyers are supposed to do their best the whole time, every time, but we also know that they don't. So, I was about to make a definitive statement and a broad generalization, but I'm not going to do that because probably demonstrably wrong.
Well, that being said,
everybody screws the pooch on their job so occasionally.
Yep. And right now, it looks like you've got a fair number of prosecutors that are looking at this going,
not making the joke.
They do what I want.
Yeah, exactly. When I do it, someone has had a less than amazing day. When they do it, someone goes to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And when I do it, I just spark more debate in the chat. So really,
I didn't realize it was that kind of a channel.
What?
When you do what? You spark more debate in the chat?
Make a large mistake. I resisted making the joke earlier. I am not giving you the room to do it now.
Look, you changed up the wording to not answer my question, so I win anyway. And that's okay, because you still need to go to the bathroom.
Count success how you count success. But yeah, I still have to go to the bathroom.
That's just a crappy thing to say.
Nah, it's a pisser of a situation.
So let's hurry up before this turns into an R. Kelly stream.
Ooh.
Oh! You're in trouble now. When I do it, dispatch is pissy because my load was delivered exactly one lunch break late. All right. Well, all right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Again, much appreciation. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you, Darth Dragonis. As always, you're also a huge help. Thank you, Lockpick. Thank you, DJ Jason 1. Always great to see you. Thank you, Maddie Holmes. Always great to have you in the chat. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Much love. Much love. Anybody else? Chris in the 386, thank you for dropping by and lurking. Is there anybody else in chat? Am I forgetting anybody?
I think so. You mentioned DJ Jason 1 and Crystal. So I think you're good.
All right.
Not
Thank you,
Maddie.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, all of you lurkers. Much love. Thank you very much. Stick around for the raid. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down. VA double deuces. We're out, y'all. Heathens and infidels, be damned. Liars. Liars, thieves, heathens and infidels, be damned.